Hey, how's it going? Today I've got a very special unboxing. I finally got my hands on the Super Mario RPG original soundtrack made by Square Enix. I'm really happy that they made a soundtrack for this game. They've been doing that with a lot of their games lately, so big shout out to Square for finally getting this made. I'm really excited to open this and see what it's like. This is the 4 CD box set of Super Mario RPG. It's got 2 CDs for the remake and 2 CDs for the original Super Nintendo game. It's also got this booklet that I'm about to show you a couple of pages of. It's got notes for each of the songs from the original composer. The first half of the book has notes entirely in Japanese, but the second half of the book has the same notes just translated into English for each of the 4 discs. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite notes just briefly reading through this, but I want to show you all the things that are inside the box first. That first case had the remake's music, and this has the original Super Nintendo music. I'm going to show you the back of the cases now to show you that they have the exact same track list. It's just whether or not it was made for the Super Nintendo or if it was made for the remake on the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to do a more direct comparison of the backs in a second, but first I want to show you some notes from the English version of what's in that little booklet that came packaged here. As you can see for track number 6, the note says, "I tried my best to not make the remastered soundtrack too grand since I thought it would clash with the game's overall tone. However, I was expressly requested to make this one song sound as magnificent as possible. Ask and ye shall receive, LOL." I think that's a fantastic note, and I love that. I'm really happy to see the composer Yoko Shimomura talk about the inspiration for a bunch of these songs and very directly relate them to where they came from, like the original source material. Here's that direct comparison to the back of both versions. I really like comparing the character models to see how far we've come from the Super Nintendo version. Now let's unwrap the plastic and take a look at the art that's on the CDs themselves. These CDs were wrapped extremely efficiently. It was very difficult to open them, so I had to use a tool to actually get through the plastic. It was also pretty difficult to open these because of the gloves I was wearing, but I wanted to keep this somewhat pristine because I really like this. I want to keep it in very good condition for as long as possible. Now we're finally getting into it. We're getting the plastic off. We're going to take a good look at what the original Super Nintendo soundtrack looks like. Getting our first look at it now, you can see that it's very simple. It's just a very simple CD with not a whole lot of flair or flashiness. It's got a very solid model of Mario from the original Super Nintendo version, and for disc 2 they went with a model of Toad, which I think is nice. I love the red on disc 2 especially. I also like this original artwork on the back there. I'm a big fan of CDs looking presentable in their cases, so I'm going to fix the disc 2 here to make Toad stand up nice and straight. That's just about everything in the Super Nintendo version. Now we get to look at the Nintendo Switch version of the CDs. This case is also very efficiently wrapped, so I had to use the tool again. I didn't even bother trying to open it without the tool this time. I'm actually going to speed up through this section because it takes me a lot longer than it should to open up this plastic, and as entertaining as I'm sure it is to watch me struggle with plastic, I think you'd rather see the CDs that are within the case. And here we go. Here is disc 1. It's got a very lovely red for Super Mario RPG and all the information on it. In the background, it's a very simple white background with a bunch of really solid character outlines. Disc 2 has a very lovely dark blue on it with the same character outlines. You got Boos, you got Stars, you got Bombs. It's very clearly Mario themed without being overwhelming. I'm a really big fan of the design for both of these discs. I'm also a really big fan of the map being on the back here. I love it, the updated map in HD. It's a really solid look at the map. And here are both versions side by side so you can compare the covers. And that's pretty much everything that comes included in the 4 box set from Square Enix. I'm a really big fan of this. I love Super Mario RPG. You know that. If you've been to the streams, you know that I beat both games live. For the first time, I beat Super Nintendo Mario RPG, which was fantastic. Playing the Switch remake is fantastic. It's a very good remake. You should go and play it if you haven't already. I love the music in these games. I'm really happy to have this as part of my collection. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm very excited to listen to some of the tracks. Actually, you've been listening to these tracks the entire time. I've been using tracks from these CDs for this video. Thank you so much for watching.